Whenever I'm on my skates, I would say nothing else matters. The lights are usually dim, the music is bumping. I see familiar faces. You are constantly out of balance, but trying to regain balance, all while in motion. And so whenever I'm on my skates, I'm just like, I feel free.
Train's going express to Greenpoint. Stand clear, the closing doors clear.
I think I skate, it's supposed to be twice a week, but it's usually more like 6 times a week. If I'm not at the rink, I'm just skating around the house. Honestly, if I could sleep in my skates, I probably would. I am the founder of Orbit Collective, a safe space for Black and brown, queer, gender nonconforming skaters. The idea for Orbit Collective started as seeking community and seeking, I guess, my tribe. I identify as a queer non-binary femme. I know that there's plenty of Black and POC skaters.
Ooh, do the table, do the table.
There's a rich culture, especially in New York. But specifically for queer skaters, that's the crowd that I love to be around.
Serve the camera, baby. Serve it.
In New York City proper, the only rink that we have is Crazy Legs. And it's not even a rink, it's a gym. There were a ton at one point. I'm always heartbroken that I wasn't alive to experience them. So way before my time, we had transitioned from the disco era to hip hop. They took the disco records and then started scratching them up and making beats and then rhyming over them, and then hip hop was born in the Bronx. A lot of those artists I know got their start in rinks.
Roller skating, it's more than fun, it's art.
Back before all of that, roller skating was actually very segregated. There was a lot of restrictions. There were only designated nights for Black and POC people to skate, and that was it. There was a lot of protesting and speaking up for your rights in terms of having permission to even skate. Given what my ancestors had to deal with just to have the opportunity to skate, I think it's amazing to carry on their legacy. And I will say that skating, especially with a lot of like older generations, has connected me to music that I wasn't around to hear in a different way. When you have these labels of like queer or non-binary or anything like that, by default you have to have an armor up because the world isn't as open or sensitive to these identities. There are things that you have to deal with, things like sexual harassment, unfortunately. Skating in and of itself is a very individual sport, but there's also partner skating and like group skating, and so sometimes certain touches or whatnot can be very inappropriate or feel uncomfortable, but we always practice open consent.
Like this. Oh.
This is a place to come where we can just gather, and the main feedback that I get from people is like, just thank you. And then also the other key word is, I feel safe.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.